Hey, what's up? I'm Lincoln, and this is my channel, Lincoln Moves. And in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to backflip on concrete. Pretty cool, right? Well, guess what? That could be you. Assuming that you already have a backflip on a soft surface without any assistance, and you follow the advice in this tutorial, you could be backflipping on concrete in no time. The backflip doesn't even have to be that good, just as long as it's safe, consistent, and pain-free. Oh yeah, and it's probably a good idea to wear shoes. Why, you may ask? Because backflipping barefoot on concrete is scary, and can be painful if you don't know how to do it properly. The proper technique being to land on the balls of your feet instead of flat-footed to avoid bruising the heels. This technique can be hard to implement at first. It makes the backflip significantly harder for beginners, which is why I recommend shoes. Unfortunately, shoes do still add some difficulty because of their weight, which is why I recommend getting comfortable with backflips in them on a soft surface before taking the next step. Now that you've got all that, the only thing stopping you from doing your first backflip on concrete is your mind. And the teensy tiny fact that concrete is harder on your joints, and if you mess up on it, you're more likely to get injured. Which brings me to the disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. I am not responsible for any injuries you may suffer. Backflips are dangerous and can be even more so when done on concrete. I would love to pay your medical bills, but I can barely afford my own. Now, let's get back to the video! Alright, I'm going to show you 3 methods in which to approach learning the backflip on concrete. I would recommend either trying them all and picking your favorite, or creating a unique combination of the 3. I would not, however, recommend just picking one at random and sticking to it. Make sure that you give all the methods a chance. Now, let's get into it, starting with method number 1. The first and simplest method is to execute the backflip on progressively harder surfaces, until finally you feel comfortable enough to attempt it on concrete. Perhaps starting off with this super soft resi mat, or a mattress, then moving on to a panel mat, or some grass, from there progressing to carpet, or a thinner mat if you have access to one, and finally to concrete. If you're still afraid, you can try executing the backflip on wood floor, or some other surface that's just as hard as concrete, but somehow less intimidating. And before we move on to method number 2, can we just take a second to talk about these backflips? I mean, I don't know what was going on this day, but dang, were they good. The second method is simply to learn other easier backwards rotating skills that are transferable to the backflip, such as the mukaku or the back handspring, so you have some sort of progression when attempting the backflip on concrete. My backflip ASAP tutorial covers this nicely, not only teaching the skills, but filling in the space between them, so you have the safest progression possible. Link in the description. Now, let's move on to method number 3. For the third method, stand on a surface that you are afraid of executing the backflip on. In the case of this demonstration, it's wood floor. In your case, it might be concrete or some other hard surface. Then execute the backflip, positioning yourself so that you land on a surface that you're not afraid of backflipping on. In the case of this demonstration, a panel mat. But in your case, it could be grass or literally any other soft surface. Now repeat the method, but in reverse. Start by standing on the surface that you are comfortable backflipping on. Then perform the backflip, positioning yourself so that you land on the surface that you are afraid of backflipping on. At this point, you have done 2 different backflips. One taking off on the surface that you are afraid of backflipping on, and one landing on the surface that you were afraid of backflipping on. Now all you have to do is put them together, and voila, you have a backflip on concrete. That's it for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope it helped. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them down below in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Yeah, that's it for now, guys. More videos coming soon, and until next time, peace.